All right, so I want to take you through using Khan Academy to deliver content and have your students do some practice at home. Works really well for the math classroom. So I've logged into Khan Academy using my McNary.org email, and so I want to go over here to where it has my name, and then click the teacher dashboard. And here you're going to come up to your classes. And if you've never done Khan Academy, you don't have any classes listed, you want to click add a new class, and you're going to name that class. So I'm going to name my class uh, uh, Algebra 2 2020 uh, third block. And then if I've used Google Classroom, I can import my classroom, the students from my Google Classroom into Khan Academy so that they don't have to use a join code. Uh, so you could click here and then it would connect to your Google Classroom account. Uh, and you're going to tell it your McNary.org email, and we'd be able to select a class that you've gotten if you have already had your students join Google Classroom. And that's the simplest way to get them into class. If you have not had them join Google Classroom and you're just using Khan Academy and not going to work with Google Classroom, then you need to enter the name of your class and then click Next. And then you're going to pick the coursework that you would be selecting from for your class. So there's a lot of different coursework that you might do. I'm doing Algebra 2, which would incorporate Algebra 1 skills, Algebra 2 skills, some trigonometry skills, pre-calculus and statistics and probability. All of those courses I can pull content from to assign to my students. If I wanted to use integrated math, the way it's laid out is the only difference here. You can use integrated math 1, 2, and 3 out of that. So there's a lot of different content available. You can see all of the different courses that are available for our students. So lots of things going on with Khan Academy and what they can see and do. So clicking next, and then you can add the ACT thing if you want. I always skip that. And then you have choices. You can invite your Google Classroom. You can have students join with a class link or a class code. So that's how we're going to do that since we didn't pull it in from Google Classroom. So here we have that link, and you can copy that and send it to your students, or you can print instructions. And this would be a good thing to hand out to your students prior to them leaving. If you click print instructions, and this gives you instructions on how to print those. You can click in English. And it creates a PDF here, and you would be able to print these out right in the class code that you have for that. It gives the students the link and everything that they would need to join your class. Um, the code, if you want to have them join it here is our code. You could copy and paste that to the front of your room or email that to the students. I would just email them this join link here if I'm going to email it to my students. And then, uh, so if that's the way I'm going, once you finish that, here we have that course. If you have students, once you have students joined, you want to wait till they join before you share assignments with them. So I'm going to show you how to add assignments. So I'm here. I'm going to that class, and here's my student roster would be listed here. All the students that I have joined my class would be listed there, and then I would be able to do assignments. So under assignments, you would click assign, and then you would be able to pick what course you want to pull from. So if I wanted to work on some statistics and probability things for them, let's say I wanted to do some probability with my students, I would go to statistics and probability, go to the probability, drop down, uh, expand that. And anything that has a triangle there, like the play button, is a video, and you can assign videos, and it tells you the length of that video. Anything with what looks like a leaflet of a page is an article, and it's like a reading thing. And you can, if you check that box, that's going to notice up here it adds the number one by a sign. So that's assigning that video for your students to watch. And you might assign those 3 videos, and then this lesson, anything with a pencil beside it, is a practice activity. And let's say I wanted to watch this video and do the comparing probabilities, and I wanted to assign that and give it a certain due date. So I've got those 6 things. I'm going to assign that article as well for them to have a resource to read. They don't get a score for the videos, but they get scores for uh, the practice. With the practice, if you want to watch a video or see what needs to be done with that, you can click any of these links and they're active. If you want to see the problems that they're going to work in the practice, you click that and it will pull up a view of all of the problems that they could be presented in that uh, that particular module. Uh, and here we have the problems listed uh, in box form there of all the different things that they could be asked. It's going to ask them 7 questions each time they go into that practice to do that. And so then you're going to take that and click assign, and then it's going to ask you when you want that due. So you set the due date, the time you want that due, and then you would normally have all your students selected that. And you can choose whether each student gets a different set of questions, or if everybody always gets the same 7. I always do different just because it gives them more experience. The more times they work on it, the more they're going to be experienced in that. And then you could if I had students here, I could click assign and it would assign that to those students. And if I want to save something for later, I can click save and assign later. And that's what I'm going to do here. Save that and assign later. And then I could go and do the next things with that. Um, so scores would show up under the scores tab. You would have a student name on the left and then their assignment, and then the score would be right there beside that. If you want to manage some things that you've assigned or things that you've saved, click manage and you can access the saved part. And it's a one click to assign something that you've saved. And then you can edit that or copy it to another class if you want. But those are easy things. And if you checkbox these, that allows you to delete all of those assignments if you want, which is, I'm not doing that. So, all right. Now, different ways of getting your scores. Easiest way, obviously, is to click the scores tab, and you will have a spreadsheet that looks something similar to what's grayed out here that shows you the score that student has out of that. Another way of getting the scores is to click the settings button on the left, and then you would be able to download the student data, and it downloads it as an Excel a CSV file, and you would be able to open that up and then manipulate that like you would an Excel file if you're more comfortable doing that. There's a lot of ways to do that with this, so easy to do. And if you need any help, see me in 103.